There's no denying that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is one of the most impressive pop culture enterprises ever assembled. I mean, I've personally done about 8 million videos along those exact lines, so I can't really change my mind now. It's got a shockingly consistent baseline of quality across its 24 movies to date, yes, but there have been the odd times when it's, how do I put this, betrayed its own established rules. Us comic book movie fans being what we are, and what we are is bad nerds, these issues certainly haven't gone unnoticed. And I'm not talking about plot holes here, I'm talking about the rare instances where a movie has actively walked back a long accepted, well-known or important truth. I will try to explain. My name is Adam Cleary and these are 10 times the MCU broke its own rules. Number 10, the Bifrost Bridge being broken is suddenly no big deal, the Avengers. Right, so at the end of the first Thor film, the Bifrost Bridge is willingly destroyed by Thor. Loki blatantly warns him though, if you destroy the bridge, you'll never see her again. Either way, the film ends with him stranded on Asgard, only for this to be hand-waved in the Avengers the very next year. How much dark energy did the All-Father have to muster to conjure you here? Asks Loki, before seeing it's just been rebuilt in the Dark World. Fair play to Joss Whedon though, who clearly struggled to find a way out of the corner that Thor had written him into. Dismissing a major dramatic beat from one movie with a casual one-liner from another though is still not great. Number 9, the arc reactor can power Iron Man, except when it can't. Iron Man 3. Yes, the big shiny thing in Stark's chest serves as the power source for his Iron Man armor. Until Iron Man 3, when his Mark 42 armor won't work and he has to hook it up to a car battery to charge it up. While the real answer here is just because plot, is it any way reasonable to accept that mega genius Tony Stark would really design an Iron Man suit that couldn't be charged by his living power source? Look, right, in a universe where Tony can just ass-pull the means to time travel, using nothing more than an evening of committed thought, are we really supposed to believe that he couldn't just use the arc reactor to get his suit operational? Well, yes we are, because, as I say, plot. Number 8, Cap summons lightning out of nowhere, Avengers Endgame. Right, yes, okay, yes, I know, yes, okay, I know, yes, this is amazing, and I want all of my subsequent words here to take precisely nothing away from this incredible moment, but Cap-wielding Mjolnir is absolutely brilliant, provided you can ignore the major problem with it. Thor Ragnarok literally had Odin tell Thor, that hammer was to help you control your power, it was never your source of strength. And we then subsequently see Thor unleash lightning by himself because it's not the hammer that draws it. What the hell then is Cap doing here? Endgame's co-writer Christopher Marcus even accepted this as an inconsistency, but quite rightly asserted that it was simply too awesome not to do it. What he should have pointed out though was that Odin also said, whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Which you can interpret to mean that if you can pick the thing up, then you become the man himself. See, Marvel, I've literally fixed that one for you. Moving on. Number 7, Drax's selective literalism, Guardians of the Galaxy. Despite being the unexpected MVP of Guardians of the Galaxy and the film making quite an effort to convey just how literal-minded he is, Drax is only Drax when it suits the writers. Heading into our finale, Star-Lord gives a rousing speech where he tells his fellow Guardians that life has given them a chance to give a shit. Drax agrees, and they head into battle. But no, I'm sorry, right, no, given Drax couldn't let "it goes over his head" pass as a metaphor, this was a cheap gag open gold that is universe-breaking to miss. Just replay that scene in your head, yep, you got it, with him thinking Quill literally wants to hand Ronan a turd. Brilliant. Number 6, the slightly iffy time travel logic, Avengers Endgame. As sort of explained by Professor Hulk, Endgame's time travel logic dictates that changing the past doesn't alter the future. Instead, anytime someone deviates from the original timeline in the past, it creates a new parallel timeline while leaving the original one undisturbed. However, the Ancient One also implores the Avengers to return the Infinity Stones back to the precise points in time from where they were taken, in order to ensure those timelines aren't broken. Captain America does this at the end of the movie off-screen, but going by the pre-established logic, the mere act of travelling back to these timelines to return the stones simply creates more branching timelines rather than fix those stoneless existing ones. I'm not gonna get into quantum mechanics with you all right now, but basically, there are probably 6 to the power 6 timelines at the end of that film, which is well over 45,000, rather than just one. Oh well. Number 5, Vibranium's inconsistent properties. Of the many quasi-scientific inconsistencies in the MCU, is there anything more confusing than the ever-shifting properties of vibranium? Across 20 movies, its composition has varied greatly. In the Avengers, it could withstand a direct hit from Mjolnir, while in the Winter Soldier, it couldn't even deflect a fairly weak kick. Admittedly, this is more to do with different filmmakers working on these projects rather than some fluid approach to physics, but still guys, pick a lane. At the end of the day, this is just one of those things you're pretty much going to have to live with, but if you're watching this, Kevin, and we know you are, would it be so hard to just lay down some basic physical guidelines for this stuff and, I don't know, email it around? Number 4, the all-seeing Heimdall doesn't see Thanos coming. Thor Ragnarok. Asgard's former Bifrost guardian Heimdall was known for his all-seeing, all-hearing abilities, capable of presiding over almost anything that happens within the 9 realms. Except, he doesn't see Thanos' ship coming at the end of Thor Ragnarok, leading to the demise of not only himself and not only Loki, but also countless other Asgardian refugees in Avengers Infinity War. There are a few wave-away possibilities to explain this issue, namely that, Thanos found a way to mask himself from his sight, or, if you really want to reach, that he simply wasn't looking in the right direction. Either way though, both of these sort of make the big lad here look like a bit of a dope. Number 3, Bruce Banner has Hulk's memories, except when he doesn't. Avengers Infinity War. Thor Ragnarok introduces a unique wrinkle into the Bruce Banner Hulk dynamic by having Banner reveal that he has virtually no memory of the 2 years he spent as the Hulk. He says, "It's like I had the keys to the car, but I was locked in the trunk." Yet this is seemingly contradicted at the start of Infinity War when Hulk battles Thanos, gets his ass kicked, and is then promptly magicked to Earth by Heimdall. Hulk crashes through the ceiling of the New York Sanctum Sanctorum and transforms back into Banner before he tells Doctor Strange and Wong, "Thanos is coming." Now, come on there boys, how would Banner have any knowledge of this, let alone be unexpectedly well briefed on Thanos and his plan during Infinity War's post-title exposition dump? You can maybe argue, I guess, that Hulk changed back into Banner between the end of Ragnarok and Thanos' arrival in the mid-credit scene, but given that Banner is extremely anxious about getting trapped as the Hulk, it seems rather odd to be doing convenient transformations off-screen. Marvel would probably just tell you to not overthink this one, and in fairness, they're absolutely right. Plus, by introducing Professor Hulk, they've solved the problem entirely. Number 2, the scarcity of Pym particles, Avengers Endgame. When the Avengers first mount their time heist in Endgame, Ant-Man makes it abundantly clear that the team only has a limited number of Pym particles left. And while we do see 2014 Thanos being given a Pym particle by 2014 Nebula, it's never explained how the rest of the Mad Titans army, clearly numbering in the many thousands, are able to join him. However, yes, Endgame co-director Joe Russo explained away the inconsistency in an interview by claiming that Ebony Maw simply used his magic abilities to reverse engineer new ones. Fair enough, given that A, that's actually quite a good explanation, and B, it's his movie, not mine, but that's the sort of thing that would take literally one line of dialogue to show to the audience, so maybe do that. Look, I'll literally do it for you. "Hey Dad, here's a Pym particle. Now you can go in the future and kill all those people that are going to come into the past and do the thing."
"Thank you, daughter, but I only have one, and you need like thousands of them, so how do we do that?"
"Your purple greatness, I will do that. I can do all of that. Look, I'm gonna go and do that now."
"This pleases me."
See, it's that easy. Number 1, Thor's ever-changing power level. Yes, fair enough, it must be an absolute headache for Marvel to maintain anything close to consistent power levels across a roster of dozens of superheroes and even more movies. So it's little surprise then that abilities seem to fluctuate wildly between installments. And no Avenger has been more blatantly affected by this than Thor. In one particularly egregious example of flip-flopping, Thor became enormously powerful at the end of Ragnarok, only to get easily bested by Thanos at the start of Infinity War. Yet later in that same movie, he was able to absorb the full force of a goddamn star in order to forge Stormbreaker. Infinity War's co-writer Christopher Marcus did try to explain the fluctuation by saying that Thor has extremely durable skin, but more limited energy reserves. Yet that still ultimately feels like a fairly tepid attempt to paper over the Asgardian zigzagging strength. It's simply another byproduct of the fact that maintaining perfect continuity in a property as sprawling as the MCU is virtually impossible, and like the comics it's inspired by, it's likely going to continue betraying its established power dynamics forevermore. Oh well, at least we're getting good films. So there you have it, those are 10 times the MCU broke its own rules, and if we're all being honest, we don't really care about any of them. Let us know what you made of it all in the comments below, and of course don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I've of course been Adam Cleary, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.